welcome back to my channel. And I know we're like really up close and personal, but it is all for a purpose. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get a non-surgical nose job with makeup so your nose can go from this to this. So if you guys want to know how to contour your nose or how I contour my nose, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I get so many questions on how I contour my nose. I know that when I do my videos, I don't really show it because it's not a long process, but I do have to take my time and concentrate on what I'm doing. So I felt like I really wanted to show you guys how I do it since you guys are always asking me how I snatch my nose. So this is how I do it. I feel like my nose is very slim on the top, but then it gets like really chubby in the front. Nose contouring is very different for everyone, but I feel like for me is very universal and it's something that would work for mostly all nose types. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I contour my nose, and hopefully it can help you guys, or if you have a similar nose shape to what I have, it can kind of help you out a little bit. Something that I don't do is use any cream contours on my nose. I have used them in the past, but I feel like it makes my nose look a little bit muddy and dirty, so I stay away from cream contours. So the technique that I'm going to be showing you guys is very for beginners because I only use powder contour. The one that I love using to contour my nose is this Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and this is a matte bronzer, and as you guys can tell, it's a very light shade, but when it goes onto the skin, it does darken up. Like, as you guys can tell, it kind of looks like my skin tone. This is what I use to contour my face as well. This is like my holy grail contour. I love it so much. Okay guys, so this is the brush that I'm going to be using to contour my nose. I like it to be very wide, but not thick, as you guys can tell. It is kind of thick enough to blend, but skinny enough to give me a defined line. So this is the brush that I use to contour my nose. I have a couple that are basically the same. I have this one by Beauty Junkies, and I have this one that is basically the same one that I'm gonna be using right now, but this is dirty, so I'm gonna not use that right now. So yeah, this is basically the shape that I like to use. I also like to use a fiber brush because it just gives you a lighter touch to the contour. I'm going to be dipping my brush into the powder just a little bit, just like that. Tap off the excess. Something that I'm going to be telling you guys that I see a lot of errors when people contour their nose is that they follow their natural nose shape. And the purpose of contouring your nose is to kind of mimic a smaller nose. So I like to cheat my nose shape. So I'm going to be creating two lines, but I want those two lines to be as close as possible without making my nose look, weird. So I'm going to be making a line first from this side of my face. And like I said, I like to cheat my nose shape. So basically, if I were to contour, without cheating my nose shape, my contour would be all the way out to here. But I'm going to be closing it in and bringing it a little bit more closer to the bridge of my nose. Then once I get this done right here, I like to bring it downwards, making that line as straight as possible. As you guys can tell, it's already creating a shadow. So I'm going to continue making that straight line all the way to the tip of my nose. I'm not going to be blending too much right now. I just want to create that perfect line first. And then blending it into your eyebrow or your eyeshadow. So once I have that line down, I like to go in with a little bit more of that powder and kind of bringing it downwards and blending it right about there where my nose is a little bit thick. And then I also like to blend the side of my nose just so you don't see any harsh lines. I like to concentrate the contour more towards the tip of my nose and bringing it downwards towards my nostril to kind of completely wipe it off. If I were to follow my nose shape, my contour would be out all the way up to here. So my nose will look a lot wider. So I'm going to be drawing the lines a little bit closer in together. When I do this, I like to use just the tip of the brush. So I'm going to be doing a very light hand and using only the tip. I like to use these kind of brushes because it gives me the ability to create a straight line but also blend it at the same time because of the fluffiness that is around the brush. So as you guys can see, those two lines right there are very close to each other. That is not where my natural nose falls, so I wish. So I'm gonna keep going and bringing it downwards. I need to apply that contour a little bit more and concentrate it more on the tip of my nose because that's where I have it the most like thick. So I have to kind of eliminate that with the contour. Normally when I do my contour, I always use the side of the brush like this to make that line. And then when I go in to blend it, I like to flip my brush like this and then blend it out. So now this is something that is really, really important. When I contour my nose, and for every nose shape, you always have to cut the tip. So for example, if I were to leave my nose like this, it looks like my nose is really long and it will keep on going for days. But what you always have to do is cut your nose at its highest peak. So right there is where mine would naturally fall. You also have to cheat this line a little bit because normally my nose would fall down here, but I bring it up a little bit just to make my nose a little bit more shorter. This is something you always have to do. You have to make sure you cut the tip because or else your nose will look like it's an ongoing nose and you do not want that. I know a lot of people like to do that little button nose situation, but since I do have like a wider nose, I don't like to emphasize the tip too much, so I do keep it just like this. Next, what I like to do is go in with a contour kit, and I'm going to be using my Morphe M524 brush, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of this banana powder, and I'm going to be applying on the side of my nose. This is also going to help your nose look a little bit more thin. I like to apply this by stamping it on first, and then dragging the product outwards towards my under eye. I like to go back with my brush and kind of blend that together just a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh. So that is basically it, what I do for the contour. Now, the highlighting part is just as important as the contour because without the highlight, it won't emphasize what you want it to emphasize. So what I mean by that is you guys are going to see a huge difference once I apply the highlight. So I'm going to be using the same palette by Morphe, and this is the DD palette. I'm going to be using this highlighting shade right here. For this part, I like to use a very small brush, and I like to apply this right on the tip of my nose. Immediately, as soon as you guys apply this color, your nose will look so much more lifted. I'm going to be applying also a little bit on the bridge of the nose. And that is basically how I contour my nose. As you guys saw, it is something very simple, but it makes the biggest difference in the world when you guys see that snatched little tiny nose, which is not even real, but you know, we can pretend it's real. Alright guys, well that is how I contour my nose. I hope you guys find this video a little bit helpful. I know it wasn't such a long video, but I feel like this is something that a lot of people wanted to see, so I definitely, you know, had to film it for you guys since I never included it on my tutorials. Now you guys are gonna have something to fall back on, so I really hope this helped you guys out. As you guys saw, it is something that's very simple, but it does take time to perfect and to also get to know your own nose shape and to know what works for you. This is what works for me, and I found that there's other contour videos that I've seen out there that don't work for me. I really hope you guys found this video helpful, and now you're able to kind of get an idea of what you can do to your nose. This is a very easy technique without any cream contours. It's just literally just powder, and you guys are able to get this nose. Before I go, I totally forgot to mention, if you guys want to see this eye makeup look, I already have it on my channel. I will be leaving it down below for you guys so you guys can check it out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell notification button to get notified every single time I upload. If you guys want to be more in contact with me, you can follow me on my social media. I have Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. I will leave that down below for you guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.